Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Fans ruthlessly clown Lakers' Luka Doncic after Warriors game. Thursday's Western Conference clash between the Los Angeles Lakers 46-30 and Golden State Warriors 45-31 emitted an excess of star power in Crypto.com arena. NBA icons LeBron James and Stephen Curry were spectacular, laughing in the face of Father Time as they combined for 70 points and 15 assists. Luka Doncic also stood out, but for different reasons. Although the stellar 26-year-old guard posted 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists, he could not get his shot to fall in what was ultimately a 123-116 Lakers loss. Doncic was 6 of 17 from the field and 0 of 6 from three-point range, failing to connect from distance for the first time in nearly 2 years. He was far from the only player who fell short offensively, as LA's bench scored only 7 points on 3 of 15 shooting, but fans naturally focus on superstars' struggles more than those of the supporting cast when evaluating Doncic's play in a game that could carry massive significance in the playoff picture. People were quite candid. Those gripes are valid. Doncic's defense is lacking far too often, and he constantly clamors for foul calls, preventing him from hastily getting back on the other end of the floor. One can also argue that the Slovenian could have leaned more on James and Austin Reeves, the latter of whom scored 31 points and drained 9 three-pointers. However, Luka Doncic has displayed generational greatness by trusting in his ability to take over games despite posting a subpar 41.5 field goal percentage with the Lakers. The five-time first-team All-NBA selection is still leaving a sizable mark on the court night in and night out. He is averaging 8.5 rebounds, 7.9 assists, and 1.7 steals since the Dallas Mavericks traded him to Los Angeles in February. If Doncic is able to regain his effective shooting stroke, he will remind people why they relentlessly roasted the Mavs organization for dealing him away in his youth. Many Lakers fans will take satisfaction in knowing that Doncic did accept accountability for his performance against the visiting Warriors, but they are depending on him to put his words into action. Friday night versus the 21-55 New Orleans Pelicans. LeBron James Stephen Curry duel sparks buzz amid Lakers versus Warriors thriller, and the show goes on. NBA fans have been devouring face-offs between LeBron James and Stephen Curry for more than a decade now, as these two titans continue to hypnotize the masses when they share the court together. In addition to the aura of magnificence that filled Crypto.com arena, this latest meeting featured high stakes. Both the Golden State Warriors 45-31 and Los Angeles Lakers 46-30 desperately want to avoid grinding out a game or two in the NBA play-in tournament and are eyeing home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Their two keystones rose to the occasion and exhibited efforts befitting of a big postseason collision. James scored 33 points on 10 of 15 shooting and made 5 of 8 three-pointers, while also recording 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. The mammoth 40-minute outing was for naught, however, as Curry dropped a game-high 37 points on 10 of 21 shooting along with 6 assists in a 123-116 Warriors win. These two basketball savants still find ways to amaze viewers. Perhaps that is what defines their respective legacies most of all. Two legends dueling it out. Ed Schnack marveled, no game is more entertaining than these at Braun World declared. Imagine Stephen Curry and LeBron James in the same team at Film. WWE pondered. James and Curry exhilarated many basketball fans when they led Team USA to a gold medal in the Paris Olympics last summer, but they would have garnered unprecedented amount of attention if they were NBA teammates. The public will have to settle for them being opponents. Although Curry's Warriors defeated James and the Cleveland Cavaliers 3 times in the NBA Finals during the 2010s, this should not be viewed as a one-sided rivalry by any means. The all-time scoring champion bested the greatest shooter ever in 2016, and he led the Cavs to a 6-game series in 2015 despite Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving both being injured. The NBA Finals are obviously off the table now, but these two icons could still duke it out in the postseason, while the Western Conference seeding situation is in considerable doubt. The Warriors and Lakers are currently slated to play each other in the first round. The people demand it, especially after watching Stephen Curry and LeBron James trade buckets on Thursday. Need this matchup in the playoffs. At Madden Mobile Express, this could be the last opportunity to pit the league's flag bearers against one another in a do-or-die type of environment, as was the case in their past showdowns. They will be accompanied by other exceptional talents. Luka Doncic struggled versus Golden State, but he is a sensational playoff performer who led the Dallas Mavericks to the finals last season. Austin Reeves is blossoming into an all-star caliber player, scoring 31 points and shooting an outstanding 9 of 15 from behind the three-point line. Jimmy Butler has made a transformative impact on the Warriors, and Draymond Green is marching toward his second Defensive Player of the Year award. This will not merely be the LeBron and Curry show, but they are still the NBA's headliners for the time being, and the league and a large chunk of the fan base want to savor that fact for as long as possible. Redick criticizes Lakers players, explains why they weren't able to stage a comeback against Warriors. The Los Angeles Lakers saw their 12 winning streak snapped by a 123-116 loss to the Golden State Warriors at Chase Center on Thursday. It was a back and forth affair early on, but the Warriors managed to create some separation in the second quarter, and Lakers head coach J.J. Redick explained what went wrong. Post-game reporter: "It seemed like a pretty good first 5 to 6 minutes in terms of shot quality. What did you see from kind of midway through the rest of the half defensively, and what your team was doing against it?" J.J. Redick: "I thought our first shot defense was great throughout the first half. They had 7 offensive rebounds for 12 points in the second quarter. We couldn't score for 6.5 minutes, and I think not surprised that they switched everything. We expected that. We scored 69 points in the second half against the same defense. I think we just got a little stagnant and didn't want to move. You got to move, you got to play with force, you got to get to the next thing. Sometimes the expenditure of energy on one end, and you don't have it for the other end. I thought our guys were playing hard on defense in the first half, and then just the second opportunities that continued during our comeback. There were a number of possessions where got a stop, but they ended up getting an offensive rebound and end up scoring on it, or there's a loose ball, they get the loose ball. The big momentum changing sort of stretch we just couldn't muster, and a lot of that had to do with just the second opportunities." Reporter JJ: "In the first half, when you guys weren't scoring, it seemed like a lot of that was missed three, but it was like your shot profile seemed to change. I want to say like 8 or 9 foot 2 stuff like that. What were they doing on that? Was that anything?" Redick: "It was not what they were going, it was what we were doing, and we showed them at halftime the spacing alignments, and having the wrong guy in the dunker spot, the wrong guy in the corner, the structure of what we're trying to do against Reds, and what every team tries to do against Reds is create the proper spacing and create the proper next guy and create the proper guys in the corners, and we just didn't have that, and you end up with turnovers." The Lakers' offense struggled mightily against the Warriors, switching for stretches. In the first half, they took a 22-20 lead with 343 left in the first quarter, but did not score another point the rest of the way. The Lakers were only able to end their scoring drought when Austin Reeves went to the line with 931 left in the second quarter. A three-pointer from LeBron James not long after made it a 1-point game, but the hosts lost their way after that. The Warriors went on a 25-10 run to pull away from the Lakers and then managed to keep them at arm's length the rest of the way. Whenever the Lakers did threaten to pull off a comeback, the Warriors got some timely offensive rebounds. They ended up with 23 second chance points, and the outcome of this game might have been different had the Lakers managed to secure some more rebounds. And what do you think about J.J. Redick's situation? Write to us in the comments.